or make you laugh, make you cry like Ain't Life Funny. Ugh. Yo, what's up, man?
What up, dude? First of all,
Man.
you know what? Since you say you called me out on the last episode, welcome to the newest episode of Ain't Life Funny, everybody. This is Matt. I'm here with my boy Aaron. Aaron, what's up?
Oh, Radio Matt's back, y'all.
Oh yeah,
Full effect. Well, guess who's really back today? Guess who's really back today? Motherfucking conspiracy tinfoil Aaron is in full force today, buddy.
Ain't Life Funny presents Conspiracy Time.
So you better get ready.
Okay,
You better get ready.
We already did one about all the bullshit that happened at the Capitol, like the day it happened, right?
Right, immediately as it happened, right?
Immediately. So shout out to us. Little tap on the back to us for just being we're journalists, guys. That's really what this is. But now everything afterwards, Aaron, dude, I've been watching this, so I'm gonna tell you what I think's about to happen. I don't want this to happen, but this is with everything going on. I'd have to say first, it's like treason. The word, obviously, that's not a thing anymore. That doesn't exist because to me. What we saw was that in multiple levels, and it's not really being brought up other than, you know, by pundits on TV, which means nothing, and people like us. So that all that shit happened. You know, we all know exactly what happened. Don Trump had to do his bullshit, all his little fucking cabal of dumbass people like Don Trump Jr., Rudy Giuliani, that one senator, Josh Hawley, that was giving out the fucking fist sign when he was walking into the Capitol. All these dudes incited a riot, incited an insurrection. They're not in jail. Don Trump has been kicked off every social media platform that you can think of. And one thing that's very interesting about this that I had no idea about was that I was like, oh, damn, they took all his platforms off. But there's another Twitter-like thing called Parler that's for right-wing people. So now it's just he's going to the right-wing Twitter.
Oh, I didn't even know that I didn't know that was the name. I knew that something like that existed.
I think it's Parler. It's something like that. But anyway, so here's what my worry is. Given that, so like he's been kicked off the mainstream shit. So nobody's like, it's not trillions of or billions of people watching exactly what he's doing and saying. He's on this other thing, and it's basically a closed like thing where it's only right-wing people, from my understanding, or at least that's all the people that use it. So for the next 2 weeks, this guy's in the White House, actively still communicating with apparently like half of the Republican Party or conservative people support what they saw. Like I saw fucking shit about that, which is really disappointing. So he's in that. He's still contesting that all this is fraud through all this shit. He even he conceded. He said that he will not be at the inauguration. So fuck you. You're not invited anyway. But now he has about 2 weeks, 11 days. He has all these people that still support that nonsense. I saw a video of Ted Cruz in some like field somewhere talking to a bunch of douchebags saying we're all patriots. You're all on the front line, you know, still saying this bullshit, even while they're trying to distance themselves in the media from Donald Trump a little bit, they're still supporting all this nonsense. So my worry is that they're going to get to the inauguration and like nobody's really listening to Republican Twitter, whatever that's called, Parler or whatever. So what are they doing this whole like next 2 weeks? If they were willing to do that and didn't get any, like, as far as I know, maybe 5 people got arrested for that. And like people died. You said a cop died. The woman died that got shot in the neck that was a Trump supporter. Some other dumbass Trump supporter died because he tased himself in the nuts and he had a heart attack. I mean, the idiocy, dude. It just is crazy.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like, I feel like this to me is the ultimate proof of every conspiracy shelled into one, dog. I feel like honestly this blows the lid off and links. It's like the what they call the unified field theory, where they think like somebody will come up with an idea in science that links the macro with the micro worlds, you know what I'm saying? So it like makes everything like all one.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This is what that is of conspiracies. Because check this out, right?
Oh god.
I heard First off, like I just want to say none of this is based in any fact because I haven't been researching this shit like you. Like all those facts you just said about what Trump has said and what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
like because
just,
I don't
just to say, just to clarify my position, I watched some YouTube videos. Okay, so I'm not an expert either, but whatever.
Well, you had more information than me because like all I did was watch like the videos that are coming out now that people recorded themselves, because that's really what I was interested in, was the footage from that. Because what you have to realize is that if we're all like, if me and you, we're on the same page, but like for the listeners, if you are a believer in the PSYOP, which basically, you know what I'm saying, that they are plotting against your mind and shitting images, purposely putting things on TV, which we call predictive programming, where they're trying to show you things to then bring about a future to their liking. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of what we've talked about as our theory of what's kind of going on. When we say they, me and you kind of are vague on who the they is.
I think every
I don't really know.
Is vague on that, though. Is it George Soros?
Well,
is it the?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You know,
Exactly. Well, that's what I want to say about the they. Like that, to me, this incident proves that there at least is a they, which I think we already know that anyways. But the reason why I'll tell you that it proves it to me is because all those people that were out there are the byproduct of internet searches and conspiracies and listening to Trump and believing in a certain line of information that they follow to their final conclusion. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you want to find the information, it's there for anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to believe in flat earth, like there's plenty of stuff out there that somebody will show you. And then if you want to believe it, you can. Like me, I'm one of the people, like, I look at all that shit just because like I find it interesting to hear someone say some shit I've never heard.
Or funny.
So like, yeah, that too. But also, like, you have to realize, like, me and you, like, we're of an older generation where we got raised up on the internet where like you would sit with your buddy at your computer in your room when you like, when we got to that point, like it was like, you know, the later 90s, and you would watch hours of internet laughing at shit, you know what I'm saying? And be like, hey, look at this. Or like, hey, they cutting people heads off in Baghdad. Like, we used to see that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like fucked up shit that like we were just used to hearing, but never like, we just would see it as the internet because like it wasn't always there. So it wasn't like something that we were familiar with. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is an age of people where people like are raised with it. So they believe in the internet like now as God, as law. Like me, even still, like,
damn,
I even said it about,
I never even really thought of that though. Like, if
that is what it is.
There, it's just that it's there, you know.
Yeah, it's like trying to explain Nintendo to somebody who's only seen a PlayStation 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, until they see that, like, and then they be like, damn, y'all used to play this. And like, don't get me wrong, like, I feel like there's a nostalgia even in someone who hasn't seen one. Like a young kid might want to play an older game, but it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's advancement, you know what I'm saying? And like, and that's kind of what I was talking about too. Like, there's advancement in technology, there's advancement in thought, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think what really is going on is like a whole bunch of people, conspiracy theorists, whatever you want to call them, like, because even like on the other side, like more open-minded people, whatever too, a whole bunch of information got dumped into our society, bro. Like realistically and like, I want to say like metaphysically or whatever you want to call it, but like realistically, like when Obama left office, there was a CIA dump where they declassified a whole bunch of information. All that information got dispersed amongst the internet. WikiLeaks happened, all that shit. So like just now people are delving through a lot of that stuff. And like the problem with it is that there's no way to go and back any of that stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Because like, we don't even know what was really in the WikiLeaks leak. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody can say, hey, I found this video of, you know, them doing some satanic rituals, Donald Trump, Hillary, Joe Biden, and Obama all in the same place, fucking wearing black robes and shit. You know what I'm saying? And like, and they could show you just a fragment of that, you know what I mean? And then like skew it where they could show information where it's like, this is how they try to hide it or whatever. And like, make it look real as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like they make fake passports. You see what I'm saying? Like they can make those deep, real,
you can buy an app that does that deep fake shit where they put your face on a video. And if you can buy a free, or if you can just get a free app that does that and puts it that easy, there's some guy in some place where you can be like, yo, put Trump's face or put Joe Biden's face on this video of somebody fucking a kid, like some crazy
anything, yeah, and it can be indistinguishable. But like, let me just try to wrap it up. But like, I'm saying all that to just be like, so we all know that, and like I said, there's a right side, there's a left side of it. So there's like people like you and me, open-minded, whatever. There's like blue people that know this information as well, the super wokes that are out there. Then there's the red, rebels and the flag dudes and the fucking Confederate people too that have the same information. All that information, if you take it in, delves you down to one final point. If you really surf through it all, is that they're trying to create a martial law type prison state, not just in America, but in all countries. You know what I'm saying? Where basically you would be always under surveillance, basically 1984. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're constantly under surveillance, which we already are. Your phone's always in your pocket. They can look in at any time they want. You purposely film yourself. You voluntarily surveil yourself all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
posting your location, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got an email that showed Google where I've been in the last year, every spot I've ever been to in the last year. Send me an email because it's like, oh, you said you left this tracking app on. Here's everywhere you've been. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh.
So, you know what I mean? Like, that shit all is there, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's not like there's any mystery to anybody's life. So that's to me, knowing this, I know now all these people come to Washington, D.C., right? That had to be orchestrated. You can see the movement of all these phones, all these tracking units, all these devices can see all these people flock to D.C. Trump told them to do that. Once again, the cops had controlled that area on a regular average day in D.C., bro. You can't get to where those people were. Like, where those people were standing and doing all that shit, climbing on all that shit. You go climb on that shit on a regular day in DC, somebody's gonna pull on your ass and be like, yo, get the fuck off of that shit right now.
And it ain't even gonna say get off that shit. They're gonna pull your ass down and arrest you.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So like on a regular day in DC, you can't pull that shit. So like I know for a fact, and it's more people than what was there. You know what I'm saying?
Also, like, just to clarify, also, like a normal day, that's a normal day, right? You'd think on the day where they're clarifying all the electoral votes and all the senators are there,
isn't a normal day,
that they would have even more of that,
Right. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. All that shit is orchestrated. Why? To bring about a police state. And like, that's why I was joking with you in that text. And I said, maybe Joe Biden benefits from this, because if you believe in the Grand Master Overlord theory or whatever, that there's they want to create a police state. Everybody right now, this is the perfect opportunity to do that shit. You talk about false flags and shit like that, where like, oh, there was a shooter at Sandy Hook, but it really wasn't a shooter, and all that shit they talk about, and like, if they trying to take our guns, shit, like, those are the people that believe that, and then they created one of them their damn selves, single-handedly by listening to Donald Trump. You went and created your own false flag. Now they have the exact reason to take our shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're
crazy to think like
but I think that's
not even a level of chess that most people could even get. They don't even understand that it could go to that level.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But you feel me though? Like all that shit.
I mean, I totally. I want to be. Crazy. I want to believe that life can, like, we call this shit Ain't Life Funny, right? I want to truly believe that life is funny and that all this fucking bullshit is literally caused by idiots. Like, it's literally just, we let a guy be the Pied Piper of all these fucking dumb motherfuckers. He knew the strings to pull. He knew the buttons to push of these dumb, Trumpy fucking, whatever you want to call them, right wing, whatever, whatever you want to call them, terrorists, whatever. He did all that. And I feel like to me, if it's not this 8-level conspiracy where it literally is a cabal of, I don't know, the rich or just these, whoever it is, maybe the aliens, somebody.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Controlling it to that level where they're like, hey, you're a character. Like, basically in that reality, Donald Trump truly is like a character. He's a pawn, and they're like, this is your personality. You have to do this. We've had people like you in history. You're going to be the most ridiculous 130,000% version of that, where you're racist on TV, you're sexist on TV. You're basically like the cuck fucking like poster child like of what you want to be if you're a cuck.
Right. Right.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, that, where those people,
and he's been empowered to do it.
They never do anything, but he activated them, and now it's almost like, to me, I want to believe that what it is truly just proof that marketing is evil. There's some people that do understand the power of marketing and how exactly to manipulate people using marketing.
Yes.
And now that social media is there, it's basically, like you said, it's not, I can turn this
it's analytical
off. It's all day, and it's being,
but it's analytical though.
If you like it, you're being force fed that shit, and you never see the outside. You never get outside the bubble. So like you said, people grew up with the internet now, and that's their God. Well, if you want to go a little bit more micro or macro or whatever, the people that love Trump, right? Their God is him, because once you get into that algorithm and it just feeds you the shit that you like Trump and right-wing shit and all the people that support him, you never see,
bro, you know who Trump is?
Of other people like, this guy's evil, this is insane. You're just like, this guy,
you know who he is.
Saying anything other than positive shit about this guy. How could he be evil? This guy's obviously right. And that's what I want to believe, that marketing is just as evil as I've always believed. It's like going to a strip club. That's what marketing is. The evilness of a stripper that sees like a fat dude and is like, I'm going to get that money because that's an easy mark, or a con man or something. That to me is what you saw. Trump's just the ultimate con man, and he got all these people. He's like, we're all going to get rich off this. Just follow this lead and follow my family and me and all these dumb people, and we're all going to profit off this. So maybe that is what it is, but maybe it's what you said too. Maybe it's all that shit.
Check this out, man.
I'm scared, Aaron.
We had talked about this in a previous podcast a while back, but essentially, once again, if you want to talk about the programming, bro, like I told you, man, this shit goes so deep. Like, you're gonna think I'm sounding crazy as soon as I say this, but Trump essentially is the Antichrist. And what I tell you by that is
that didn't scare me at all.
Oh, okay, cool.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying though. The reason why is because that is what they call a trope, right? Or like a motif that is replayed throughout history once again, over and over again, where essentially we as civilians think that this is exactly the plot of the Matrix, by the way, that one person among us is so great and so gracious enough that he would sacrifice himself to save us all. You see what I'm saying? That's really what the story of Christ is. That's Neo, the one. That's Hercules. That's basically different tropes throughout history, which is basically that one of us would be the special one that could rise above and say, hey, I'm going to make the ultimate sacrifice for the betterment of us all, the good, and save all of you. But the real fact is...
Iron Man. So you're saying Trump's the fake Iron Man, basically.
Well, this is the thing, though. Like, anytime that character rises up, he has a villain that's opposite of him. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you look at any superhero story, what is the villain? He's the exact weakness that the hero can't take. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the perfect battle for Superman was... when he had the kryptonite Superman, or wasn't there like the opposite Superman? Remember
I think the best example of what you're saying is like Batman has Joker.
David, I mean, I know you're a sophisticated guy. The world is a mess. The world is as angry as it gets. Well, you think this is going to cause a little more anger? The world is an angry place.
Batman
that too.
Kill people. Joker will do everything he can to do. He's like the exact opposite.
Right. But even like look at like Spider-Man. Like Peter Parker was the product of a botched science experiment. Then Green Goblin is his arch enemy. He's a botched scientist trying to do the same thing. Everybody that he fought was the same thing. It was a scientist trying to do the same thing, but then he didn't get the powers. Like his technology was his power. You know what I'm saying? So like that's like 5 or 6 of the villains that he fights. So just think about that thing, is that it's basically the exact likeness of you and then the opposite, the polar opposite. But you got to realize some people at first thought the Green Goblin was actually a hero. Same thing with Joker too. Like if you look at their origin stories, like some people actually side with him. Joker has.
I mean, that's the movie, bro.
Like,
you saw the end of the movie Joker. Right. It was what it was. Right. Everyone was like, "Yeah, go."
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I think,
man, because that's basically.
I think even that movie. I think that movie actually had a lot of this predictive programming stuff in it. Actually, if you look and pay close attention to it, like, isn't it funny that he was dancing down some stairs and then these people run up the stairs at the Capitol? And, like,
I mean,
if you really want to play the imagery out, you know what I'm saying?
People in masks and costumes inciting violence in the streets or in public place. I
feel me?
I feel like maybe I feel like predictive programming, what you're saying about that is accurate in that even if it's not getting us ready just to see exactly that, it's getting us acclimated to that sort of visual and just that climate where that's a possibility, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Because like that's the thing. Like, like if you believe in the like, I'm more on a spiritual side with it too. But like, if you think that thoughts manifest reality, how does that come about? Like, first somebody thinks it, and then like imagine if somebody then like when you can draw. It's like if you were to draw a picture of something in your head, now it's that much more realistic because it's like, damn, like now I can see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like if you're in a dark theater by yourself, you can hear it now. Like there really is evidence and showing like scientific proof where like people watching movies, like you cry in a movie, dog. Like you know that shit's not real. You know what I'm saying? Like you see something sad on the screen or like you get scared in a horror movie. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't get hurt. You realize that, but like it's just like it's really happening to you. So like if you know these things and you're the one that controls it, you're trying to make money, but on the top as well, why wouldn't you do that to make some more shit? Like in your movies, program the next movie. You know what I'm saying?
Plus,
like if nothing,
like
it's just on that small level.
That are just like not even like seeing it, but it's like certain practices that are almost hypnotic practices where people will repeat phrases. I mean, it's just like little things where they would just repeat the same phrase to get it in your head, or they, quite honestly, like what Donald Trump and his cronies were doing for months, talking about fraud and talking about the lies and the election. Right. It is predictive
keywords and shit.
That is an example right there of predictive programming. It's like, it's going to be fraud no matter what, unless I win, it's a lie. And then he kept saying it over and over again. And everyone that's normal is like, this fucking guy, he won't stop saying this. What a dumbass. And then
what's crazy?
Realize there's a bunch of people that are like, he's fucking, it's like, but making them get harder and harder until what happened on whenever Wednesday happens, where it just is like a giant bust where everyone just has to, it's literally, he's got them to that frothy, like they're literally ready just to fucking, I mean, a guy with fucking horns and shit.
Bro, like he was dressed like in The Simpsons, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like
a shaman.
Like to me, that's the exact, to me though, that's the exact proof that what we're saying is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, to me, that's why I was saying I wasn't watching a lot of news and shit. Because like to me, I feel like even what they're revealing now in the later hours, that's why I was saying I wanted to see what they shot footage wise. Because like that is now video that is like gone through different channels, filtered, approved, edited, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you have to realize. Like everything you see, at least 20 different people that watched that same thing had to be like, oh, that's okay, that's not okay. I like this, I like that. Like all types of different things. Like you can alter someone's idea of something by simply changing the color tone of some shit. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's literally all you do in an editing program is go like, saturation, this. You feel me? Like, and just by doing that minor thing changes someone's entire opinion of what a video is or isn't. So like, just imagine what could go on behind the scenes. But I'm not even saying that they altered any of that footage. I'm just saying what got to the eyes of the masses. You know what I'm saying? That's why like, I only wanted to see that and not hear what anybody had said about it, because I already know like everything's going to be opinionated. Everything's going basically, like I said, to me, looking from afar, like how I am, the guidance is that they're trying to implement harder policing now, because I'm reading the thing about the Capitol Police and they're saying it's 2,000 police for a place smaller than Central Park. You know what I'm saying? It's like they should have had enough people just in themselves to stop that if they wanted to. They got a bomb unit.
If you look at those videos, it's like, look at the people that were holding the line. Like that guy running upstairs, and it's just
like bicycle cops.
It was like two fucking guys or girls or whatever. It looked like fucking what's his name from Family Matters, the cop, the dad from Family Matters. It's like, where's the fucking militarized giant fucking yoke dudes that are always around Washington with their guns and shit now? Like, where were they at?
But like, don't you remember during the Black Lives Matter riots, they had that big thing about the bricks though? You know,
where there was just like pallets of bricks. Like,
well, you know what I thought about that though?
I remember that.
Yeah, but like you remember, ain't nobody never really say nothing about that other than like it was kind of like a crackpot theory, and then they just kind of wash it away. But like, can we just all acknowledge the bricks were there though? Right?
I mean, that's been proven in multiple cities, multiple places, multiple like different times that happened where it was just
right.
Who put this pallet of bricks?
Perfect place. Oh man, look at that Target. Right by this Target. Oh man, and this dollar store and this fucking Safeway and Best Buy. Like, so
isn't that just crazy though? Because here's what most people would do. They'd be like, it's probably some nutbag or maybe somebody left them there. But it's like, no, it happened in like 20 places. What the fuck? Like, who was the guy doing that? Was that the QAnon shaman like traveling like Santa Claus?
Though, think about it. Just let me answer this. Just answer this one question, and then I'll back off. Have you ever seen, or do you believe that the government can find who dropped those bricks there?
Do I believe they can?
Yeah. Do you believe they can find that?
With the combination of pinging of cell phone, looking at the different business security
camera angles,
I'm sure there's
tracking GPS.
Things, like there's probably like cell phone towers in the city that they can ping this phone off of to see who was.
I just watched this documentary. Where this dude blew up a bomb or something somewhere. I forgot. I have a terrible memory, but it was about somebody. But the way they found this guy, it was about that fucking Tennessee dude. My bad. Yeah, the way they said they found a Tennessee bomber or whatever. I think was it him? I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry. It was some dude. But the way they said they found this guy, right, is that they found a fucking sign because it had a for sale sign or whatever inside of it for some reason that he had used to, I guess, section off part of the bomb, and gloves. They seen that, like, I guess when he had dropped he had wore disguise and he dropped the package off and he had red gloves on because he didn't want to touch it. So they go and look who bought the sign and the gloves at the same place at the same time around in that area. Narrow down to a couple stores, then narrow down to 5 people, then find this guy, find the camera footage that he does, then finds his truck in the parking lot that day, follows his truck all the way through the cameras back to his house, sees him at his house, takes that shit, finds him the next day, follows him when he drops it off, sees him in that parking lot because they said he parked away from the building, so then they found him on a different camera. So just think about that. They found that one guy off of 2 items on a receipt and him going around. So you can't find a receipt of a whole bunch of bricks, find a truck, drop a bunch of bricks off, and then follow that truck back to where that truck came from.
Or if you want to go even like today to that shit with Trump, the FBI is asking people to tell them who was doing that shit. It's like Charlemagne showed the videos and was like naming the people. He's like, if the FBI can't do this, I don't know what the fuck's going on. You got to ask us for help to find the guy with his feet on Nancy Pelosi's desk because he wasn't hiding his face. Like you can find that guy easily. Many people did, and the FBI is like, "Sorry, guys, the program's broken. We can't use the facial recognition."
Like I said, so either they don't want to find these people, or something's up. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying, bro. Like I mean, I'm not trying to.
Crazy. I mean, New Jersey had this crazy thing where if you shot a gun, the sound it made, they had some way to like use echolocation. I don't remember what it was.
Crazy.
To find the like within a few inches of the spot where the gun went off.
Shit, it's insane, wild, bro. Yeah, man.
So I mean,
what I'm saying? So like
to do it, then what? Like at this point, it's maybe you're right, man. I mean, it just seems like everything's just getting worse and worse. And meanwhile, all this shit we're talking about, there's still a pandemic, so they have ways to keep you
right.
And it's just like, I don't want to be fucking a fucking conspiracy. I don't even. It's not even.
That's the thing. Like that's what I said. We didn't even jump that many conspiracy dots, other than ask the question of where did the bricks come from? Is it since day one, since all this technology has been in our hands, are they plotting some ultimate thing with this, which is they basically gave us the plot of what they're trying to do in all of the release of the information, where they have ways to facilitate a police state. They showed you all that FEMA camp shit back in the day. Remember that when they were like showing the coffins on the side of the road, and that was a big thing. Then they show you the whole 9/11 debacle and all that, and then there's like reasons to start casting doubt. You feel me? Like if you start delving into all these things, like at the end of the day, the final thing is you ask yourself, why are they doing this? Why would somebody do that? It's like, well, because they want ultimate control of all people and all working people of the world. You see what I'm saying? Because, like, I mean, that's basically what the idea of the conspiracy behind a social security number is. You know what I'm saying? And they give you a number when you're born so that you're documented, and they talk about all that straw man shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you really start connecting it, like, all of it kind of makes sense. Like, this podcast got to be the unified fucking theory, dog. You feel me? Like, for real. Because, like, at this point, like, that's the only thing to me like, and that's not without even, like I said, like, I'm just bringing those up, but like, I'm not even saying that there's some like dark alien overlord or whatever. Like, I'm just saying the people that are in charge right now, like, why aren't we sitting there putting them to the fire, being like, hey man, why didn't y'all investigate those bricks deeper than what was going on?
Why don't you arrest some more people? Like, get these motherfuckers, like, do something to show us that you're not like either ignoring everything that's going on or you're just implicitly allowing it to go on. You know,
see what I would like to try myself, but not me personally, not to go to jail, but like, I would love to buy a big ass pallet of bricks, rent a truck, drive it into like Portland or wherever, put up a big sign that says like, I don't know, Black Lives Matter, whatever, F you crackers, fuck the police, whatever it is, and just see like if I could do that and a riot popped off, would they find me? That's what I would like to find out. Like, I
wonder if you just did that where you left
like
a bunch of pallets of bricks, like not even in like any sort of climate where a riot could pop off. Just if you did that, if they would chase you or if they would find you because of that.
I mean, something like I feel like if you just left a pallet of bricks on the street in LA, like in a parking spot, like somebody eventually would be like, "What the fuck is these bricks?" You know what I'm saying? Like, be mad, call the city, something would happen. You know what I mean? Like, I just at this point, like, to me, that's a big blaring question. Then you have to ask yourself, what was up with the police the other day? So you guys can whoop ass on all those days when people are armed with bricks, by the way. Ain't nobody had no bricks up in there. You know what I'm saying? People
aren't doing shit. You can whoop somebody's ass that's just out there just like trying to protest some real shit. Instead, you're like, hey, there's a mob forming outside that Trump said should come storm this place. I gotta go to get some lunch. I'll be back in 30.
Well, this is the thing though. Think about this. As being a cop, your job is life and death. So what cop wants to go into a situation where he's going to be massively outnumbered by any type of mob or even protesting unit? That's never happened in the history of mobs, really, because that's the other thing I was reading today. They had an instance where I think it was Nixon had got extra military people down in the fucking cafeteria of the Senate just in case they needed backup for the riots that was going on one time when he was president. Like, it was a riot going on. He's like, just in case we need backup, put another 150 people down there in the basement, just in case we got to get them to come out and bust some heads too.
Yeah.
So if y'all could do that back in the day, why can't y'all do that now?
We could talk Nixon and go way back and show you that kind of evil shit. But I will say, like, to go with what you're saying also about allowing and just letting it happen for whatever reason. My question when I watched all the videos and everything, there's pictures and videos of inside like the chamber. They had all the doors blocked, right? And there's like pictures of like people with guns pointed at like the mob coming in, right?
Right.
So if I'm a cop or I'm a whatever those guys, security of like the government, this is morbid. I don't want anyone to get hurt, but if you're storming the Capitol of the United
federal building.
And during this, it's obvious like some sort of a political insurrection type thing. And they're doing that. And they're literally breaking through the door. You got your gun out, right? Why didn't you just start busting shots? Because isn't that on the table? They would have done this is real. I mean, this is real deal. So other people have said this. Let's say it was a whole group of black people doing that. Just black people. Just in general, like that looked to be all whites the other day. What if it was all black people? That white guy who had the gun trained at the door, he would have just been like,
Matt, it was necessary to use deadly force when Breonna Taylor was asleep in her bed. It was necessary to use deadly force when Eric Garner was selling cigarettes. You see,
and that's one person. You know,
feel me? Like when Tamir Rice had a fucking toy gun, when not even a cop needed to choke out a kid to stand his ground. You see what I'm saying? Like, shoot a kid. You feel me? Like, this shit goes on and on, dog. Like, we can talk about it, but at the end of the day, I feel you. Like, at that point, deadly force is on the table, fam.
I don't want
it should have been. It should have been on the table when they knocked the fence over. It should have been on the table when they came through the front door. When they came through the back door. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, even it could have been popping.
Even that black dude that was running up, the black security guard that was running up the stairs, and he kept stopping, and it looked like he was about to do something. From my perspective, I was like, I get it. He doesn't want to like hit somebody because once he does, you're gonna get like swallowed up. And I mean, I would have been terrified too. But to me, that guy, if he did pull a gun out and start like hosing those people, I mean, that's his job, isn't it?
a security officer at a bank would have shot more people than what got shot.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like if 30 of us
Studios, you know?
Yeah, if 30 of us ran up in the bank with no guns being like, give us the money, that dude gonna bust like 4-5 of us down. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta realize that's a factual thing that could happen.
Do you think that there was some sort of mandate that went out secretly somehow where he was like, listen, something's gonna happen. We don't
they had to, bro. Have you ever watched a cop TV show, Matt? Yeah. What do they do on every cop TV show before they go to work every morning? They all sit in a room together, and when somebody says a fucking sexist joke,
tell them something. The chief has to give them a little shit.
Well, let me set the scene. It's like everybody's sitting there, it's like, hey, little Dick Nicky, what's up, bro? Your wife happy or what? You know, and then everybody laughs at whoever the fuck, you know, where it's like some chick that's like hardcore chick, and she's like secretly a lesbian, or maybe she's out with it, and everybody's like, oh yeah, you never get none of that, you know, and everybody's like, oh. So then the cop's like, all right, you shut up, you bunch of fucking filthy animals, and gets the fucking paper out. And he's like,
you're on fucking detail today, okay?
Right. Have we all not seen this before? Am I making this up? Did I imagine this? So like, if that's a factual thing, or even if it's a fucking fake thing, right, in Hollywood, as a cop, when you come to work every day, just like me, anybody who's ever had a job, you pretty much get told what you're about to do when you come into work every day, regardless of what your job is. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what you're supposed to do when you get there, because somebody told you before you got
when
there.
There's all the senators there. You're telling me that they were like, look, there's going to be a bunch of senators there. We're going to have a bunch of you over there because there's a rally that's going to happen at the same time where people are trying to disrupt that. So we're going to need a few extra of you guys over there. No, that didn't happen that day.
Now, here's the thing that makes me really suspicious about that.
This is a normal day. Actually, we only need half of you. Go home.
Right.
Have a holiday, guys.
Well, you know, all those guys that were in charge of the Capitol Police all resigned immediately, like within the days after that. And that's why I'm also skeptical, because I'm like, to me, that's somebody that was told what was about to go down and was already plotting on falling on their sword, probably got handed some money under the table, was like, yo, this shit about to pop off.
There's straight up videos of senators that were like Republican senators just opening doors and letting those people inside doors and shit. Like literally just letting them in the building. Like, hey, come on in, guys. Bro. I mean, it's pretty fucked up.
What I'm saying, dog. Like, something ain't right here.
That's where I'm saying, like, where does the word treason become? Like, where is that on the table?
Well, that's what everybody's saying is, if we're saying that it wasn't enough police, they're trying to say that maybe someone in Trump's camp or one of them Republicans, like you said, orchestrated that. You know what I mean? Like, and if you're saying people were opening the doors for them, then fuck yeah. I mean, that is orchestrating shit to a degree.
You literally committed. You have there's a video of you and all those people that are walking around. I don't care if somebody told you to do it and it like almost made you insane to the fact that you wanted to like perpetrate that violence. If you're a normal person like that, the shaman or that guy with his feet up on the desk, you committed treason, guys. Like, sorry.
Well, here's the thing.
You thought it was.
Let's not even say treason. Let's not even say treason. That's manslaughter, if nothing else. You were a part of a riot that killed someone, a police officer. So now there should be a homicide investigation.
I mean, for sure, either Trump, who said go do that, or Rudy, who said the trial by combat thing. One of those people who said something specifically about doing that, what happened.
Right.
Like, if nothing else is on the table, that has to be on the table.
I don't think they're about to do shit to none of them, dude. On some real.
That's the other thing, crazy about it. Think about if they did put that guy in jail. What's going to happen with all those insane people when he's in jail? You don't think that you think they're just going to sit down and be like, oh, you know what? He's in jail now.
But to me, like, he already sealed his fate now, because like you can never be a politician again. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're basically like, you're like the equivalent of like a dictator now to a degree. You know what I'm saying? Like some type of massive like rogue warlord or some shit. Because like, legitimately, you almost staged in a coup, or if nothing else, a theatrical one. You see what I'm saying? Like,
but that's still a coup. A coup's a coup, man. You can't be like it was a half a coup, so we're not gonna prosecute you because it didn't work that well. It was a coup. Like, I mean,
bro, I just wish I could have been there, because like I would have walked down with everybody and just been secretly in everyone's ear, being like, "So what y'all gonna do? Huh? What you mean?" I was like, when y'all get into the floor, what y'all gonna do?
It's like these motherfuckers they attained what they wanted, and that's the only plan they had was to get in. They had no idea what to do once they were in.
Right.
What's the plan, guys? Because there's only like a few things you can do. It's burn the building down, or keep going. You know, like
take hostages. I did see there was somebody with like zip ties and shit. They said maybe they were trying to take some fucking people hostage or some shit. But I mean,
what's all that stuff you're grabbing?
Tools, duct tape, zip ties, and gloves. I have to have my tools.
You know what what that was? You know what that guy's excuse
was? That was a cop. What?
I found those walking, and I wanted to give them to a police officer when I found one. That's what
hey, honestly, I fuck with that, dude. Dude. Wholeheartedly, just in the place of just like plausible.
I was in a coup, but somebody had zip ties and they lost. I just wanted to get those in the right hand.
Hey, man, I feel you, dude. Like, just in terms of being like a defense attorney, like I fuck with you on that.
like that's cognizant enough of a defense. I'll take that one, okay.
But what that to me is the ultimate proof of like the dangers of all that shit we were talking about with that predictive programming, the internet shit, and all this conspiracy shit. Because like that was exactly what that is. That's like fucking all this excitement with no leadership, no direction, no plan. Because like I will tell you what you are going up against if you believe in that shit. So people that do have a fucking plan, like the government, they don't like we were saying they let that happen. That's what I'm telling you. Like what really went down is you single-handedly played a part in a Black Flag event to create a police state by your own hands, in which you were used as a pawn that's now going to play a later effect on us all. Because you have to realize they could have shot you. They could have killed everybody there. They like, I don't care how many people was there. Like they could have had enough people. Like if they knew that shit was happening, they could have strapped up like Black Lives Matter and quelled that shit like they always do.
And but no, they could have gone even further. I'm telling you, like legit, if they wanted to say and go, this was an insurrection and we've quelled the insurrection to save democracy, they could have literally been lining people up and executing them.
Yeah.
Because they can, I mean, maybe I'm being dramatic, but the effect, they could have shot all those people. Maybe not that cold-blooded, but
I mean, in a sense, the law is to a degree where you could be put to that extent.
You could be put to death. Like you could be. I mean, I think it's being hung or whatever, but you could be.
I mean, that's like maybe that's not in there anymore. Maybe we need to do some research on that. But
hold on,
like,
Aaron.
But here's my
God. The internet God is gonna tell us whether or not treason is still punishable by death. Give me a sec.
Well, all I'm saying is that in the grand scheme of all this, we realize that like if you're a president, right? You're there for 4 years, really plotting to be there for 8. You don't think that when you're there's not an outlook set up for 4 years. You see what I'm saying? Like somebody doesn't say to you, in 4 years, we want to be here. Because if you don't do that, you're a shitty president. You know what I'm saying? So like you're going up against people with a plan, with a strategy, with an idea. Now, if this was their plan, a strategy, I don't know. I don't think Trump was necessarily that deep. But at the same time, if you're going to rise up, I didn't think treason was still punishable by death. I think that you're going to get some bullshit.
Let me educate you on this. Okay, so one thing, this is a combination of two things. So one says, if you commit treason, it's still punishable by death or imprisonment of no less than 5 years, and they'll find money. But another article I'm looking at said in 1965, capital punishment was abolished for almost all crimes, but high treason, it was still in the mix. But in 1998, they took it down to life imprisonment. So at the very least, these people need to be put in jail forever and let them get let that fucking shaman guy go in jail and see how tough he is with a bunch of like cartel guys.
They aren't gonna. That's how you know they're not gonna do that though. Like I said, like these people were just like, it could have been to the degree that those people might even gotten paid too, dog. Like I don't want to say that it's that orchestrated, you know what I'm saying? Because like I don't think it was, but like I'm just going off of what I saw. They can't have those people answer for that. They're not going to fill up the jails now with those people, dude. Like it's going to fucking cause an even bigger problem. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that,
come on, like
it's crazy,
dude. Them to death. Put the guy with the horns to death.
They let them do it, dude. They let them do it. That's what you have to understand. Like if I'm like, I feel like if I let somebody come in my house and steal from me in front of me, like they just start unplugging my PlayStation and my TV and is like, I'm taking this. And then I just sit there. And then like I call the police and be like, hey man, this dude came in the house and said he was taking my TV and he unplugged it in front of me. And then he walked out the door and said he was taking it. And then I feel like even the cops would look at you and be like, well, I mean, we'll try to find them, but like, why you ain't try to stop them? You know what I'm saying? Like somebody at least gonna ask you that. You feel me?
You didn't shoot his ass?
Right. So the fact that you didn't try to stop these people, I feel like they are gonna get the ultimate pass somehow, dude. And this guy's gonna walk around for the rest of his life being like, yeah, I was there. Now maybe they won't. I mean, maybe they'll answer to some degree, but they're not gonna go to jail for that long, dude. They're not gonna put them like for life. Hell no,
dude. The shaman.
It's like
they have they have the fucking like the little stand where they hang you, and it's either like we're dressing you like this. You were making an example of you.
God, I just wish that like someone would have been like a jackass, or even just had the wherewithal to be like, now that we're here, I just wanted to have a speech here on behalf of something.
How incredible would that be if they just like they sat down as like senators and were like, we're conducting business as usual, guys.
Something, man.
I am the Senate Majority Leader, the QAnon shaman. I will be presiding.
Bro, they literally went in there and did the whitest shit ever. Just went in there and started climbing on shit, dog. Like,
Graham, y'all.
It's like, bro, it's like this is not a skate park, motherfucker. This is the goddamn House of Congress, man. Get out of here with this shit. Like, that's what if I've been a concert,
all like spray painting that weird S logo that everyone used to draw and shit.
Yeah, dude. Bro, I just I could have been a cop just whispering in the ear, like, y'all know y'all gonna go to jail for this, bro. Like, this is like, you look at what you're doing. Like, what is it? So you, Greg, you right here, Randy, what's your name, John? Like, you want to go to jail for this,
You're stealing a podium from the Capitol. Do you really think?
Right.
Are you gonna put this in your fucking house or something?
Right. At least Black Lives Matter's got TVs. You know what I'm saying? They at least got a fucking big screen.
What if that guy does go to jail for life and for that shit? And they're like, so man, what are you in for? He's like, I stole the podium from the Capitol. He's just like bending over to get fucked in the ass.
Right. I stole an envelope from Nancy Pelosi. It actually was a fucking
I get it. I am not here. I shouldn't be
here. Get this though. So you remember I was talking about that monkey finger shit? Like, what if that guy does that? That was his wish was like that he could break into the fucking White House, like the Senate or whatever. So he does it. Gets in there, steals the mail. It's a fucking envelope for $20,000. He keeps it. Thinks he's hit the jackpot. Gets caught. 20 G's of felony. Go to jail for like 20 years. Like grand larceny in this bitch. Like, dude, you would be so sad, man.
You just have it's like that scene in Boogie Nights where like that one guy goes to jail and it's just a dude like slapping the taste out of his mouth constantly in the cell. The guy's like,
oh man, none of those people were built for jail, bro. That's why they're not gonna go though. They don't put white people in jail like that.
I mean, they're all like substitute teachers and shit. It just looked like a bunch of people from Ohio that got together and there was like a tailgate that went bad or some shit.
I just need the ultimate meme of just like a black guy like that lived near there at his house sipping some tea, just being like, just look at this shit. These white people crazy.
I think it was like something my wife showed me. It was like a video of like two homeless guys just like in Washington D.C. somewhere while all that was going on, and one of them's like, "These motherfuckers tearing up our motherfucking city and shit. Nobody doing a damn thing and shit." It's like even the homeless knew this shit was fucked up.
It's ridiculous, bro.
I know.
But, I mean, none of those people were from DC that did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, those were all people that came from outside the city. That's all I was saying. Like, just that mass movement of people.
Son. They arrested that guy. Got arrested, but he's from the Proud Boys, so they said that was more of like a terrorist thing, also, which it should have been, because they.
Bro, just that big a movement of people was like a militarization of shit, and it's like in response. One of the most heavily guarded cities in America on that day just so happens to not have hardly any security.
I mean, what are they doing for the inauguration? Because now this motherfucker's on a right-wing Twitter that's basically its own echo chamber with all these people that are all on it now listening to him say shit. Like, are they going to just have like an inauguration that's not a public thing? Because I'm all for that. You can't. I don't think that this is going to stop yet. They need to like get that guy in jail. Like that's what I think is necessary, just to sort of avoid.
I thought I saw that they're not gonna
just let him like release him, put him in some nice prison, and be like, we're gonna let you out whenever this shit's over, whenever it's all done, and you can't do any more damage, really. Then we're gonna let you out. But how long is that? because he could just.
Then he's like fucking
go kill the senators in Massachusetts right now, and like
right.
It's like
I'm about to say. Then he's like some crazy like Dr. Evil behind bars Nelson Mandela situation type crazy shit where he's like some type of freedom organization hero. Because like the thing to me that I don't understand about any of it, and that's why I feel like this shit really is orchestrated. Because like I said, all those conspiracies lead to that one idea of like the police state. And like if you want to say that the Antichrist hero figure is Trump of all of this, like that's why I don't get is like I see Obama because Obama kind of stood out for that same shit, like because he talked about some of that stuff when he ran, but then he obviously didn't do none of it. So like I could, but at least he like represented a figure like that where you could look and be like, oh, he looks like a good-hearted person that would actually be right and help us all. But like, how do you look at Trump and get that same conclusion, like as a right winger being like, this is the man that I want to represent me, and like he's the one that's gonna go out there and get what I want, unless what you want is that fucked up, racist, fucked up, effed up shit. I mean, because that's what I think they really got liked about him, dude, was that he never said no to the racist shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's a bunch of people. That's what all those.
He told those motherfuckers he loved them the other day. So I mean, if you're a racist, apparently maybe that's what it is. When you got all those people behind you, that's when the shit gets real, where it's like they're already a dumb racist, so they don't have any stake in their reputation or being a good person because that's all out the window already. You know, they're just.
And the sad thing is, if he hadn't done that racist shit, he probably would have won again. Like if he had even in the slightest tried to just say some type of like middle of the line, toe the line, just even the littlest thing, he probably would have got away with it, bro. People would have just let him get another presidency, bro. So that's what's even crazier about all that shit. Is like what you embrace is what destroyed you. That's what I'm saying. Like it's like the ultimate like evil wish situation, dude. Like he got everything he ever wanted. Everything he says comes true, but then it's like always the heaviest consequence. It's like the market's never been higher. Pandemic hit you. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, motherfucking there was good people on both sides. Then another riot pops off. Now he's out there looking like a fool. They're about to fucking impeach his ass again. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I didn't fuck with the other election. They're about to impeach you for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
also, it could just be he just doesn't want to go to jail, dude. And he's like, the only way I cannot go to jail is if I stay president somehow, even if it's by some crazy shit. That's the only way I can get out of this. Because I mean, legit, he's really in trouble of going to jail if he just gets out. Nobody's gonna pardon him. You know, it's like if that happens, then we really know that it's all just some bullshit and everybody is all in the same team and on that side.
I feel like he can't be so stupid to not understand that when he told those people to go down there, he was never going to be the president after that moment. Like, who was going to vote? Who can put you up there now?
Like, maybe he's like, well, if they win, hey.
What were they gonna win? Take the Capitol and then just start chanting like "Make Trump the president," and they were just all gonna be like, somebody's gonna come out like with a little white hat and be like, "You guys are right," and just like sign a paper that says he's the president now. Like that's not how this shit works. Like, what did y'all think was going? That's what I keep saying.
You could stand up to the military with some guy with a spear. It's like they got a tank. Like they could just come in and just shoot a tank at you, motherfucker.
They're just playing, yeah. Like this is all a role. This is fucking theatrics, dude. It has to be at this point because like. Nothing else makes sense. I feel like all those senators, even like the Democrats, had to have been in on it at some point, dude. Because like otherwise, like as a cop, if you tell me like that some shit like that's going down, and like I have to come to work that day, I'd be like, yo, I don't want to come to work. I feel like that's what that was. Those people.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, like it probably was. They were like, man, I'm not dying over this.
Yeah, I'm not doing that shit. Like, yeah, they probably dangled an insane amount of overtime money in front of the people and was like, those are the ones that's going to be at work that day. Because otherwise, like. There's no like you can't tell me they didn't know that shit was going down, bro. They've known about this fucking march since 3-4 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Like for 2 months, basically, he's been hyping some shit up. So like you can't tell me that when this shit popped off. I told my mom the day of. I said, yo, the people down there, they about to pop off. And she was like, what you mean? He's like, they're gonna have police down there. I was like, watch. You seen how Black Lives Matter got stomped out? They're gonna let them people show their ass. And sure enough, who would have thought they would have done that? But that's how. But if I can say that the day before, the morning of, knowing that without ever watching the news, how can the cops not see that? How can you not see the phones coming all that way, all the GPS information? You see what I'm saying? Like they knew. That's why I'm boiling over here, bro.
That's why
I don't know what to say, dog.
We didn't even plan this, guys. We just were sitting there fucking texting about this nonsense, and I said to myself, you know what? The world hear this shit. But I just feel like it is like an evolving situation. Like I don't even think it sucks to say, but I don't think it's over yet, and that's scary. especially considering what we saw already. And it hasn't, if it escalates from that, like, what does that look like? But I think, one, let's end this, but let's acknowledge that we might have a few more of these emergency fucking episodes in the next like week and a half. We got a week and a half, guys.
Well, it ain't
the
over.
World in the United States going to exist as we know it in a week and a half, the way we know it, we'll see.
Well, it ain't over because, I mean, there was a murder investigation, bro. There's no statute of limitations on that shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, it could be a thing where they're looking for the killer of that cop for the next 20 years. That's a possible thing, dog. Or somebody needs to answer for it or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, just even in that small thing right there, it's a real tragedy, dude. And, like, I know we were kind of laughing about it and saying things, and that's just kind of how we try to make fun, light of things. But, like, on some seriousness, like, that type of stuff, man, that's going on is such a big threat, not even just on the level of like our safety amongst like other civilians, but it's like our safety amongst like what now can happen to us, like in terms of government. Like they have now like a reason, like a motive now to do things. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's really scary.
It's just like law.
Right.
As soon as it
that's
happens,
what's scary, dude.
it's there. It's on the table.
Right.
So
right.
They know how to address it now, or what they're saying they're doing, and they can do more. Like it's just
the only way to. Yeah, the only way you can stop it is by more laws. You see what I'm saying? Like when you're the ruler, like that's what you do. You rule by law. So like, there's no way for you to be like, it's going to somehow be freer now because people marched on the Capitol. That's why I just looked at the people. I wanted to just be there like, what is the goal, guys? Like you're just going to create even more dominance by them. Like you think that next time they're going to let us do this?
They're already talking
more
about
police
COVID cards. Like you're going to need a COVID card to go anywhere in the States and out of the country. So that's one thing. And I mean, is what it is. And I think that might, if this is one big thing, it's probably part of it. But just like that, there's probably going to be more, I mean, like you said, dude, I mean, all this shit, we're already have security out the ass at everything. It's just going to get worse and worse. I mean, what are you going to have to do to get into like a public building at this point now?
And then here's the other thing too, bro. All that security, and then anytime when it's needed, it fucking doesn't work. Cause like 9/11,
it's not there at all. I mean, they have it all. They have probably a building full of shit that they could have made that stop in like 5 minutes, but it was nowhere to be found when it was going on.
Well, I mean, that my thing with it though is just like that whole question about who brought the bricks to all those riots and like letting that one happen now too. And like I said, we live in a police state, but then when the police state is needed, when you need a cop, there's never a cop. Like, how does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Other than they're controlling where their areas of town, like it almost is like the mob, dog. Like they control certain areas and neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like, for example, like you can go shoot a gunshot off on Crenshaw Boulevard and run off and nobody would see you really, you know what I'm saying? You probably get away because the cops ain't gonna show off about 20 minutes. Whereas if you go to Beverly Hills and you pop off a gunshot, you're gonna get caught like within 3 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a known thing is like their response time is historically fast and all this shit. But it's like, yeah, that's that one neighborhood. So like, why don't everybody get that same treatment? Like, it's because they got money, your life more important than my life, even though people be dying out there too, because like that's where a lot of them celebrities be getting shot at too. But I'm just saying, like, shit is weird, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just even seeing that, to me, what that shows you is that the police are a for-hire force and a for-hire unit, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I pay higher taxes, or even if I want police presence, I can buy an overtime, off-duty cop to be, security for me, you know what I mean? Like, so if they're muscle for hire and you're in the government, you're in charge of that shit, isn't that like a $100 billion industry, whatever the fuck? I think they said the Capitol Police had a budget of $460 million. So that's what $460 million look like. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm asking the question, bro. That's why, because like when Black Lives Matter was out there, like you said, they was cracking heads. They had every suit. They had
a military looking cop. They had it all. I think
every tear gas, you know what I'm saying?
It's
crazy, dog.
You said it all. You gave us a title for this episode right there. Shit's weird.
Yeah, man.
And I feel like that's all you can say right now. And we're just gonna. I think we're gonna end this because I can't. My brain can't handle this anymore. It's about to meld inside my skull.
That was only like an hour and a half too. That's what's even scary.
But I think what is interesting is like we did one when it happened. We did one now, so a few days after. And like I said, we got a week and a half. So if we got to do these like little ones where we crank this out and like start talking about some shit that's happening like real time, this is interesting because At this point, I would have thought after all that shit happened that we would just be like, man, that shit was crazy. It's crazy they arrested all those people, or at least some movement was done on that. Nothing. And now with all this other shit we're talking about, it's just let's wait and see what the fuck happens. Because
literally the biggest failure in police history in the country of America, people are sitting here pity patting their feet like, what happened? Oh, I'm gonna just resign and quit my job.
The FBI's on going on Twitter going, please help us. It's like, what? You need help doing just that. Like,
what I'm saying?
What are you here for?
You feel me? So that's why I'm just
You're the Federal Bureau of Investigation. You don't farm out your investigations to Twitter, you know?
Right. That's what I'm saying, dog.
Dude. So we'll see. But we're going to end this one. Thank you guys for listening. This was episode, I forgot what we said, 37.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Hold on. Let me just get this right here. Let me not fuck this up. 37. Yep. I had it. Yeah.
So that means that at this very moment, guys, we almost have over 3 days of content if you want to listen and just get your mind constantly bombarded by random, half-informed ideas and theories.
Not even. Maybe a quarter informed. I've seen YouTube, a little Reddit. It's a little bit of sprinklings and spicings around the internet, but
we're like
we're more educated than most people, so.
Half-cooked cookies, man. They ain't what you was asking for, but it's still sweet though. You know what I'm saying?
It's still all right, man. Hey, man, well, it's good talking to you. Stay safe, everybody. Let us know what you think. Hit us up on social media, and we'll see you soon. Peace.
Peace. They're gonna go in there and hate on us.
All right.
Ugh.